Hello and welcome back guys, it's me Shisui, your host and not a host. In today's video we are gonna learn about RegEx. It stands for regular expression and it is really useful in making your cool logic and for string testing and stuff like that. And in my previous JavaScript videos I feel like they are way too fast and not good for beginners.
Emotional, damn it!
So I'm thinking to make a series called JavaScript 0 to Beginner, in which I will tell you with more examples, more detailed explanation so that you can understand stuff properly. My main goal of this series will be so that the people who are not even related to programming can start programming. This video will be kind of an example of that series, or at least I will try or maybe test on making such videos. So please tell me if this video is good for you or for a beginner, and also suggest me how I can make better videos for beginners. And if you are a beginner and you are unable to do something, please tell me. I will do my best to help you, and please tell me what is the best way or the most comfortable way for you to learn. And now let's move on to the video. Let's start with how the hell we are supposed to make a regex. It is pretty simple. We can just do slash and we can pass our pattern right here. It is simple as that. And you might ask, what the hell is a pattern? Well, it is like, for example, if I type hi, if I type hi to be precise, and if I do dot test, it is for using this regex function. And if I pass something like hello, and let me just log this thing logs false because this thing do not contain hi at all. If I type hello instead of hello, you can see it logs true because this thing is including that. But if I pass a space here, then I think it should not work because yeah, there is an L instead of a space. And now instead of this, you can do one more thing. You can just do new RegExp and you can pass your pattern right here, and bam, the same thing is done. Yep, that's all we have to do. Now comes how we are supposed to use this function. Well, I just showed you this dot test function. It is for testing whether a string is following this pattern or not. It returns true when it is doing that, and it returns false when it is not doing. And apart from test, we have execute function as well. It will just return you that string which is matching that condition. That's it. It is simple as that. But apart from these two functions, we have another one. It is really cool, and trust me, this is like really amazing, like seriously amazing. So if I type hello, hi, I am Shisui, hi. So if I do dot match, well, like it is a function of a string class. So if I use this match function, and if I pass something like this hi, you can see that we are getting this in return. It is literally the same execute function. What? But if I pass this G modifier right here, don't worry guys, I will tell you about modifiers in a second. But you can see now it returned us an array of everything which includes hi. As you can see, according to this thing, our string contains 3 hi. First one here, second one here, and third one right here. So that's what our match function do, and we have match all as well. It is like getting that execution result for each and everything. Like if I pass these 3 dots here, now you will see that we are getting all 3 arrays which have this text and index and stuff like that. So that's all about functions. Now I will tell you about different tricks of using regex. But before that, let's learn about modifiers. So for example, if I do console.log, and if I have this this regex called hi, let's make it a small case, and if I do dot test, but this time we have a H capital hi, then you can see it logs false. But what if you want it to be case insensitive? In that case, just type I here and bam bro, your thing is done. Now if you can see that it returned us true because this thing contains hi. That's how our I thing works. It is for converting and regex to a insensitive one, like case insensitive. And apart from that, we have few more things. Like I just told you about this G modifier. It is for searching globally. Like last time, if we just do dot match with an hi and no G operator, and if I do one with a G modifier, sorry, it's a modifier, not an operator, you can see the first one returns us this, and the second one returns us an array of stuff. And do, let's just add a I here to make it case insensitive because our first hi is capital, you know. And now you can see the second one returned us 2 highs. And yeah, that's all about G operator. It is for searching globally. But you know what, I have a better example of this. Like for example, if I have a string where I says hi, I am Shisui, hi, I am a YouTuber. And what if you want to replace hi's to hello? In that case, you can do x.replace, and the search value will be hi, wait a second, hi, or you can pass a regular expression here. You can do hi and comma, you will replace it with hello. And if I log this thing now, console.log, you can see that we are getting hello, I'm Shisui, hi, I'm a YouTuber. But if you add this G right here, you will see that this second hi is also replaced. So it is for doing the thing for each and every correct pattern. Like each and every string which is similar to our pattern. That's it about modifiers. Well, there are more modifiers as well, but I'm going to cover G and I for this video. So I guess you guys know about modifiers now, and probably have quite more things because I showed you a few more functions and stuff like that. Now let's move on to the cool stuff. This video is going to be big. So first of all, we can do grouping. Like you might ask, what the hell is grouping now? Well, let me just show you. So if I add these brackets, and what if I want to check if a string contains few characters? For example, if you want to check if something contains X, Y, Z, any of these characters, you can just place these things in these brackets and now the thing will work. If I do this, my bad, sorry guys, I forgot to remove all of this. It should work now. Alright. So if I log this now, you can see it logged false because this thing do not contains hello. But if I add something like this, you can see this icon. Well, it is for raising the power. You can see it logs true because it is like inverting the condition, like tell me whether this string do not contains any of these characters. So that's why it logged true. That's how we can do our test, our grouping. But that is not it about grouping. Like for example, what if you want to check if something have X, Y, Z, or if something have 1 or 2. Like if I type, let me do. So if I do this, you can see it logs false. But if I type 1, you can see it will log true because it contains 1. And of course, even if I remove that thing, it is still the same. Now comes another thing. So what if you want to check quite a lot of characters? Like you wanna check if a string contains any character from A to like X. In that case, you can just type this dash or minus sign, and now this will work. It will log true because it contains these characters from between A to X. And if I type Y or Z, then it will log false because they are not between them. But there's a catch. Like for example, if I use C here, then this thing will log false because the capital C do not comes between A to X. For that, we can just do capital A and bam. So you might ask, why the heck did you told us about this? Well, it is for checking whether a thing is a word or not. That's all. And you can also do like A to Z and then add this I thingy for making it case insensitive. But that's it about that. Now let's ignore that. And by the way, you can also do things like 0 to 9. It is for checking whether the thing is a number or not and things like that. And now let's move on to other stuff. We can check whether something contains a character. What about checking whether something contains a particular word? For that case, I can do things like let's use some good words like good or better or maybe best. So we have to check whether something contains these. In that case, if I run this one, it will log false because the C thing do not have any of these words. But if I say, hi, your skills are as good as shit.
Emotional, damn it!
And if I run this function now, bam, it says true because this thing contains good. But anyways, and even if I do something like, but yours are better than mine, it will still log true because, yep, it contains at least one of these things, and this time it contains 2 of these things. So that's how we can check for multiple words in our thing. We're done with grouping, but things are not done yet. We have quite a lot more things to dig in, so let's do it. In regex, you don't really type that much stuff. We can use meta characters for all of this. I will quickly tell you some of the meta characters that will really helpful for you in string testing and validation and stuff like that. So what if you want to check if something have hi in it and then some another word afterwards? So for that case, you can just type /w, and if I pass something like hello, hi, yo, this thing will log false because after hi we have a space, not a word. As you can see, this is space. But so if I type 2 here, now it should log true. As you can see, it logged true because 2 is considered as a word or as a word forming character. So to be honest, this /w thing contains all the characters and all the digits. But if you change this W to a capital W, now you can see that it logs false because it is kind of like inverting it. Now the high thing should be followed by a space, and not just a space or a symbol like this #1. It will still log true. So that's how our W and capital W works. So that small w is for like words and capital W is for not words. And after W we have D. It is for checking whether something is followed by a digit. So if I have 12, it will log true because of course there is a digit. But if I have something like dot, it will log false because D dot is not a digit. But of course then we can just make it a capital D for checking something which is not followed by a digit. So it logs true because this time it is dot. But if I pass a digit now, it will log false because 1 is a digit, and if capital D is for checking whether something is not a digit. And apart from that, we have few more thingies. Let me just cover them out real quick. So we have S, it is for checking whether something is followed by a space. So if I pass a space now, it logs true. And capital S is for something which is not a space, like making these things capital, it is like totally inverting the result. So guys, now comes /b. /b is really amazing. Like if I do /b and if I do HE, you can see that it will log false. Now you might ask, what the hell is this, Shisui? So as you can see, if I make this E capital, it will log true. And if I make this E small, and if I pass another HE, you can see it logs true. So it is for checking whether at least a single word starts with this particular text, like literally anyone, any word. And if you make it a capital B, then it literally inverts it. And if we use capital B, it is kind of like inverting it. Now we are searching for HE, but not in starting of the word. Instead, we are searching for it in the ending of a word. So if I add it in the end, you can see it logs true. But if I just remove it from the end, it will log false because there is no word which ends with HE. So that's about our /b and is capital and small /b. Now we know quite a lot about regex. Let's do some more training and learn some more hacks so that we can use it in our real life programming and stuff like that. Let's start with our few operators. They are really amazing. And let me start with this +1. You might ask, what is this? It is for checking whether something, like literally anything, appears at least one or more time. So I can do things like X and then I can type plus, whether X exists at least one or more time. So if I type XXX, then you can see that it logs false. Oh, sorry, it is because the case is capital. Let me just make it small. So now you can see that it logs true because this thing contains X at least single time. But if I replace that to something else which is not X, then you can see it logs false. And now comes the star. It is for literally checking whether that thing either exists or if it do not exist. I mean, like, it is totally like it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if something exists or not. Alright guys, now comes another thing. Like for example, if you want to test something like, let me just make a good string. And now what if you want to test for something like 10 question mark. Let's just make it a global research. So here what we are going to do is we are checking whether there is a 1 which is followed by a 0 or if it is not followed by a 0. Let me just add a 1 at last as well, and let's do this. So if I run this function, you can see we got 10 and quite a lot of ones. We are either getting 1 or we are getting any other number which is 1 and followed by a 0, nothing else and nothing more. So it is, but if I used plus in place of question mark, you can see that we are going to get 10 because it is like checking whether it exists or not. But we can even pass a star. A star is quite different. So as you can see with the question mark, this is the first one. We are just going to get 1, 10 and 1, whereas with star we are even getting 100 because it is like either that thing do not exist or it exists any number of time. And the question mark thing, it is like that thing either exists or it exists one time. So this is the example. I hope you are able to understand. Now there are some things for checking occurrence of character. These are some things which we can use for checking whether a character or digit exists or not, or if it is coming some X amount of times or not. What if you want to check whether something have a limited amount of characters, like for getting a sequence of anything but with limited characters? In that case, we can do this. Like for example, if you want to get a phone number, you can do 0-9, and now we can add these thingies, and then we can just do 10. And let me just convert this string to something like this, and let me just run this function. You can see that we got null, and by the way, that is because we never found any string which passed this test. And let me just do, if we have 5 things cv. Now if I log this, you can see it returned us an array of stuff because we got a number with 10 characters. So that's how we get a string with x length. But what if you want to get a string with limits, like it either have 9 numbers or 14? So you can just add a comma, and if I run this again, you can see we got nothing because we didn't had to add that space. And now if I run this, now we got this one. And even if I remove single character, it still works. And even if I add couple of those numbers, it still works. But if I add a character, I mean instead of a digit a character, then it will not work because we are just looking for numbers. So that's how it works. But there is another chance, like what if you want infinite number of maximum limit. In that case, you just have to add 9, I mean the minimum limit, and then comma. Now if I have number of any length at least 9, it is going to work. As you can see, it returns that thing. So that's all about our limiting thing. Now we are going to check few more things. What if you want to check whether something ends with a particular thing? Like if I want to check hello and bye. So what if you want to test whether a particular thing ends with bye? So in that case, we can just do this, and if I log, you can see we got bye. But instead of bye, if I type something like sayonara, as you can see, it will log null because the thing is not ending with bye. And apart from that, we can do the same thing for checking whether something starts with another thing. We can add this thingy, and instead we have bye this time, so it will return null. But if I start my text with bye, it will return true because the thing is starting with by, I mean it will return that thing in an array. So we there are possibilities, like I have two byes here. One by is followed by hello, another one is followed by sayonara. So what if you want to check for a by which is followed by sayonara, and there we have a space, so let's add a space here as well. And you can see we got a single bar. All right, let me just make a small change. Let me think. Let's make it capital E and make this search an insensitive one. So as you can see, we got the by with capital E. But if instead of equal to, if we use this inverter or exclamatory mark, we will get the small by, because this one is like get a string which have by and which is not followed by this text. That's why we are getting this one. And if I type equal to, then it is like get a string which have by and which is followed by this string. So that's about the thing I'm going to cover in this video. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope I was able to explain the things properly. I covered a lot of things, but to be honest, I think I should have a exercise or something, but we will do that on a later video. For now, that's it, and let me know if you want me to make a video on some topic, or if you want me to teach you something. I will try my best to get a video on it as soon as possible and as good as possible. And sorry, right now I removed my Discord server because
Yeah,
sometimes
boy.
it leads to a lot of talks. And till then, bye. I will meet you later in another video. And by the way, guys, go check out this video or probably this one. You have a lot of things to know yet. So go and check them out and learn the thing you need probably. Bye.